Well, it has been a decent amount of time, ladies and gentlemen, but we are finally back with Nova Rivals Season 2, and it's Playday. It's the big time, big leagues, Malflux. How you doing
It
on this
is.
fine evening?
I'm doing really, really well. I'm excited for the new season and I'm raring to go.
Well, it's going to be a very interesting one. We have a lot of games for you this evening, as you probably have already seen. Obviously, ACME are going up against Panic in the next few minutes, and then in about an hour or so after the game, it will be NTE versus Meow Meow Kitten Squad LFO, and then Altered Zelios Bandits and NDE versus Trident later this evening. So we have a amazing roster, amazing set of teams coming for you this evening, but we've got to start it off somewhere. Let's start with AMC versus Panic. Now, these two teams absolutely incredible in their last set of plays, last set of conditions, and the way that they operated themselves. Panic leading the season for most of season 1, however, somewhat struggling to get to the finale where they wanted to be playing in the finals. But that's all good. No issues. They're up against AMC for this evening. Now, moving into the map veto up against these two teams. I wonder where we will be going this evening. It looks like we will be going to the beautiful, and I will be honest, a beautiful map. As the first band starts to come through, Cafe will be the first one banned off by AMC, as well as Bank. On the side of Panic, they'll be banning off Border, Skyscraper, as well as it looks to be Villa is also going to be removed, as Chalet will be taken off the board with Theme Park removed as well. So Clubhouse, not going to be the map of choice. It will be a common map. It will be one of our favorites, Malflux. We're going to be going to Oregon.
Let's go.
Well, we know Oregon, it is one of those competitive maps that is really kind of 50-50 for both of the two teams. Depends on whoever's having a better day when it does come down to the matches, or who is the more mechanically gifted, as we do see quite often. A lot of teams struggle or do really, really well on Oregon. It's normally one-sided to a little bit of a degree. If the team is doing really well, if you have a lot of the mechanically gifted players and you can just operate around that, your team is just going to be very strong. But then again, it may be different in any sort of regard. Now, obviously, Malflux, I mean, we saw Panic last season. They were incredible. They were amazing. What do you think they're going to do this season?
I think they'll probably come out strong out of the gate. I mean, they've been practicing hard from what I've seen and what I've heard, so I'm expecting some big things from them this season.
Well, going up against AMC obviously a team that we haven't seen a significant amount of, with a few roster changes coming in for themselves and obviously the change of name. But with these two teams going up against each other, what are your predictions? Who do you think's going to come out on top? Who do you think's going to start the battle off of the season and start the first match of the season in roaring fashion? Who do you think will win?
Ooh, I'm not too sure. It could be anyone's game. It's the first game. Depends on which team comes out of the gates prepared, and ultimately who's prepared more, obviously. So I'm excited. It's anyone's ballpark.
Well, obviously, with the members that we have seen from AMC in the past, members like, excuse me 1 second while I just confirm, members like Captain Oz, Harry M, Hills, Jados, Orion, Stiggs, like all of those sorts of members, like you expect a lot coming in from this team, especially going up to the likes of people like Ned, ACOG, Nuki, Papa Rico, Wizard, all of those sorts of members from the side of Panic. Now, here's the amazing thing. Panic Esports have stayed with their original roster from last season, and as we saw within the last season, they played exceptionally well with said roster. They could play around each other. ACOG was popping off where he needed to. Nuki was popping off where he needed to. Rico was able to get a lot of the clutches that we know and love to see from him. But then you look at the opposite team, and I mean, you've got to start off with the man, the myth, the legend on Pulse. It is Captain Oz. coming in there for the side of AMC. Harry Hills, Jados, Orion, Stiggs, all of those members, absolutely incredible when they're up against opposition teams. But you look at how mechanically gifted both of these two teams are, right? AMC, we've seen them play in Tier 1. A lot of their members are well set out. They know exactly how they need to be approaching any sort of site. And when you're playing like a map like Oregon, a lot of teams know how to set this up. A lot of teams know how to approach it.
Well, especially with Stiggs having experience with Fnatic as well, and he's a very strong player when he pops off. Same with Hills. They should know what they're doing, so it should be a very close game between both parties.
Obviously, when they have that understanding of how they want to approach these sites and want to approach these matches, a lot of those members already have spent years playing these matches and playing these maps, so they know the ins and outs of every situation. But then, and here comes the big one. You look at Panic, and Panic is just this team of well-oiled, well-machined, well-operated players that just seem to change the meta, change everything that anyone really believes in. So it's going to be tough. I mean, when you've got a man like Paparico, who just I cannot say less than every single clutch, every single second of every single minute. This man seems to prove us wrong. He just pops off, able to find 3 or 4, 5 different players. And then you look at someone as well as Nuki, who, I mean, what do you say about Nuki? 1 minute he's taking his time, going 9 kills in a match. Next minute he's dropping 21.
Yeah.
What do you say about this Panic squad?
Well, I've known Nuki for a few years, and he's always been a really exceptional fragger. Like, as you said, he could be chilling doing 9 kills, and then all of a sudden he's at 15, 14. Nuki can just change the flow of the game. I'm not too familiar with the rest of Panic, but I'm excited to see.
Now, obviously, when we're looking at Oregon, the sites as much as I do, Malflux. We start off normally in the competitive scene. We start off on the bottom site. It is the easiest to control, and a lot of people understand that's the best way to approach it. And so they normally pick the bottom site. Then they normally go upstairs. We go to dorms, second floor. They kind of cut down those angles, set a bit of an extension over towards attic, maybe even have a few players on the roam inside small tower or inside triple tower. Either or, they have their members ready and well set up in those sorts of regions. Now, going in, you expect those 2 sites, primary and secondary. Then you take over the third site, the tertiary, which is most of the time it's meeting, if I'm wrong.
It is most of the time meeting.
And meeting itself, you obviously have that extension up in towards attic, where you can keep a player up there who can just observe everything from the hatch and even be able to see possible plant locations, which a lot of teams, they prefer to go for a plant. It's one of 2 sections. They either go for a plant from triple tower or they go for a plant from the garage side. It just depends on what they can find and the angles that they can really set up their members and really find those picks. But you yourself, I mean, we both played in the competitive scene for OCE at least once or twice. What do you expect to come out of Oregon? It's quite a well set map.
It is. Well, I'm expecting obviously a basement hold to begin with, and so they could. I'm expecting an extension out into 90 into the or blue tarps holds. Could be a freezer hold, and there's usually three ways you can take it. You've got. You can either push freezer, a split push freezer, back tower stairs, or going through laundry stairs. It's always good to push it from 3 directions or 2 directions, or if you can't do that, just do a single take on site from a single laundry stairs, freezer, or rear tower, or play the vert.
Well, we are finally all set up to go, all ready to send it. And as we can see, the amazing viewer players there. Once again, we're going to be seeing Wizard and Nuki. We saw them back in the past. Those men there were able to bring in so much hype for these two teams. And I don't think Nuki's fully realized that he's on camera yet, but he definitely has a few things set up for us this evening as we start to go into the ban phase. So the first ban is going to be taken off the board. It will be Jackal. What do you think about the Jackal ban?
It's a good ban. It's a lot of counter utility, especially if it's on the board. You know, you can hunt down your roamers easily. You know, it's just a really solid ban to get that off the board, especially if you have a strong roam presence.
Now, Flores coming in as the second ban. That's a lot of utility removal, or a utility removal tool completely taken off the board. So he will not be available for the side of Bunker. He will not be available for the two teams to use when they're making their push in towards the tertiary side if they choose to go triple tower. And then we see Solus and Mirror both being taken off the board. Now, Solus kind of makes sense. You don't want to lose your intel. You don't want to lose your drones too early. And the Mirror, obviously, just an annoying operator that a lot of teams do not really want to verse. But, interestingly, the immediate pickup, Dokkaebi, has slipped through.
Dokkaebi's a good pick there. I mean, it's on the board. It's good to find where roamers are. If they're holding any little angles, sitting in their little nooks or crannies there. We usually ban Dokkaebi. I know a lot of teams will ban Dokkaebi off the bat as we get into the rounds.
Well, interestingly, it looks like Fenrir has been able to slip through as well. Harry M will be the one to pick that up, as we can see a lot of different bits of utility being used. Jados even looking to bring a bit of observation blockers, which have been a brand new experience for a lot of players trying to get around it. But again, you're looking at these incredible players, and just what do you expect to happen here at the moment? Obviously, with the positioning and with the way that these players are set up, it doesn't look like there will be much of a roaming presence. However, Captain Oz being upstairs kind of suggests that there may be a chance. And it does look like that's going to happen. He'll be up for the extension play, possibly in towards Attic, and just moving around with a shotgun there. And he's got Pulse. Do you think we expect to see Pulse this evening?
I mean, it's not out of the question. Pulse is a really decent operator. Good for calling where the push is coming from. Good for verb play. Sequels from below, obviously. But Pulse is a very strong operator.
Now, immediately, Panic. They're going to be looking for this backstairs, this triple tower. Take this triple tower hold. So we can start to see the Ying looking to spot out any sort of player movement. Captain Oz is going to immediately read it and fall back just a little bit. Not significant enough to where he will be removed off the board. As we can start to see Universe, he's making his way on the opposite side of the map, and there's ACOG. He's upstairs. They're trying to get full control as much as they possibly can. They'll be able to spot out one. It will be Jados, who's looking to try and see if he can possibly find an easy pick, but he's just going to fall back towards the side.
Yeah, we've got Wizard pushing into kitchen there. We've got the Universe on the Dokkaebi, just pushing. So we've got ACOG up top, trying to get that roam clear going.
Well, we can start to see a bit of movement coming in from Universe there as he looks to make the push down the freezer stairs. Captain Oz is going to be spotted out. Drone able to be seen, as it looks like three members from the side of Panic are getting ready to make their push with 60 seconds remaining on the board. They're going to need to start making some sort of play, some sort of evidence, as Jados, he will look to immediately slow down this push coming in from Nuki. But already, look at the pressure. There is two members. One is going to be set for freezer. Two are going to be set for main. This push is going to need to start happening pretty quickly, as Nuki will be able to spot out one. He'll fall back just a little bit. 40 seconds remaining on the board as the flashes start to go through. Nothing significant just yet. No big movement plays, as we can start to see ACOG getting a little bit aggressive as well. Jados, He'll wait to see if Nuki will make any sort of movement. The flashbangs are going to come through as the first kill will come in. It will be Captain Oz. 20 seconds remaining on the board as the kills start to go through. Jedos is able to find Rico. Universe is able to find Harry M. Down to 15 seconds as another member is going to be tagged up. It will be Nuki to find it with a pistol as Hills will be able to take out Wizard. ACOG able to take down Hills. A 1v3 situation, and it's all down to Stiggs. The new member looking to see if he can find it all, but Nuki with the pistol will find the headshot.
Oh, what a push. Well played by Panic.
Panic able to find the first round on the board. And absolutely beautiful from them to do so in this current situation. I mean, first round taken off the board, Malflux. What do you expect from these two teams? As far as we can see, Panic, they're feeling it right now.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
Yeah, indeed they are. They're very strong on that push. Came pretty close there. Stiggs, well, hoping Stiggs can get a few more picks here. I mean, I think they might do a bit more roam heavy here this time around to maybe stop that push and stop them taking so much map control. But time will tell.
Time will definitely tell, and once again, we're going to start to see this setup downstairs. So it looks like ACME. They're looking to try and get this downstairs control as quick as possible. And if they can, it will be nice and easy for them to make some sort of play, make some sort of pressure on the board. But when you have a man like Nuki, who is absolutely feeling it right now with that pistol, able to find 2 easy headshots, and ACOG coming in with the 2 kills as well, it's gonna be problematic. And there is Stiggs removed off the board.
Nuki, nice wallbang there through the barricade. That was a nice pick here. We have Captain Oz pushing down to the main lobby door, seeing if he can't find an early pick. Captain Oz on the roam here. So, goes for the wallbang, misses, sees the Iona clone. Is he going to hold the angle? Going to go into games, see if he can't hold an angle, get a pinch. Who's he got playing with him there? I can't really see. It's the Mozzie. We've got Hills on the Mozzie. There's 2 on Master Balk. See how they go. They got 2 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock.
Captain Oz is still playing upstairs, is going to open up the hatch, looking to make a possible dropout point. They're just trying to slow down the amount of time that is left, as it looks like a player is going to be making a bit of movement. He'll be spotted out. Hills, another member down. 3v5. Nuki 4-0 right now, as immediately Captain Oz, he's going to fall away, realizing his position is in a bit of a possible put down, a bit of a problematic area, as it looks like Captain Oz needs to make his way back downstairs. Will be spotted out by the drone, but not going to be significant enough just yet, as now they will look for something, anything, any pick that they can find. Needs to be a quick and decisive one.
We've got Captain Oz still up on the top freezer stairs here. Looks like he's just roaming around. So we've got Harry M and Oz. So we've got Jados holding back tower stairs from Pillar. We've got 2 on the back tower stairs there. Seeing if they can't get a pick. Harry M. Alright. So we've got Wizards on rear tower stairs with Diffuser. We've got Rico's outside in barrels. Captain Oz is pushing out E-Box. Gets a pick onto Rico. That's a nice pick. That's needed. So we've got 2 off the board. It's a 3v3 situation. 30 seconds to go. Nuki with a triple kill, making it a 2v3. Nuki's pushing into the barrels. Oh, it's a quad kill. Can Nuki go for the ace here?
You cannot count out Nuki in these situations. Wow. ACOG will secure it, so no ace for Nuki. But when this man is online, he is absolutely terrifying. And you can already tell right now he is feeling this map. He has obviously scrimmed a decent amount, and he is ready. A quadra kill on the board within 2 rounds. This man has gotten 6 kills. What is going on?
I don't know. Nuki's just come in, just wanting to take the match.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
He's popping off tonight.
Once again, things you don't expect. Panic to be coming back with a vengeance. They had troubles during the season, but now they have come back to show everyone that they are not to be counted out. Every single one of their members needing to be well ready for the entirety of this area, entirety of this situation. Now we'll start to see the switch up. ACME going to be choosing to go up to dorms in comparison to the bottom floor. Bottom floor known for its amazing anchor point. And obviously shutting that down nice and easy is what you'd hope for any team. But immediately 2 losses, not really the way you want to go.
No, not at all. I don't think ACME are expecting this, to be 2-0 this early on. I thought it would be a little bit closer to be honest. But I'm sure ACME can pull something back here.
Well, immediately, Universe, he's going to be chucking in a drone, trying to see if he can spot anyone out. He will be able to find the back of Captain Oz, and will actually just decide to make the jump in. Captain Oz will read it. Now the back and forth begins to go through. The flashbang will spot out Captain Oz. Nitro Cell hoping and praying to see if he can find someone. But on the opposite side of the map, there's Hills, able to take down the man that was 6-1. And that is possibly the biggest pick that they were looking for.
Indeed. That's a huge pick for ACME there. Hills taking out Nuki, being their strong entry. It's good to see. So we've got... Who are we following along here? We are following along with Hills. Holding in Z. Seeing if he can't get another pick. Jados with another pick. Oh. Is this going to be a round for ACME? We've got 1 minute and 35 on the clock. What are your thoughts, Tiaki?
Well, immediately we can see Rico. He's trying to open up a little bit of an angle in towards Attic. If they can open that up, then that will be able to slow down a bit of movement in that sort of area, as Jados will be in a little bit of a problematic situation, having a look at both angles, as ACOG will find his first, and it will be Jados. So that's going to be now the Attic completely opened up. Stig's looking to try and see if he can spot out a player making some sort of movement up towards the armory side. Like, once again, you've got 2 members currently sitting on site, 3 members of Panic making their direct pushes, but this is interesting. If you look at Panic's position, they've decided to fall back from making a directive push on this angle, maybe looking to see if they can open up a possible kill on towards Hills, but this timer, it's running out here, Malflux. They don't have a lot of time, and they need to make a move.
Yeah, indeed, we've got 30 seconds remaining as we have ACOG in Attic. They're looking to get a pick onto Stiggs, possibly from Pit. If he makes a drop, Stiggs holding a tight angle. Sees. Oh, it gets flash. Well, mind by stopping that. It's going to go for Stiggs. Is going to go for another pick. See if we can't get ACOG off the board. ACOG pushing through. Hills gets Rico. Oh, Hills with Wizard. Triple. Oh, Stiggs gets the final kill onto ACOG. There we go. ACME on the board.
Not sure what happened there. Stiggs just hiding behind a clone, able to get spotted out quite easily. But it looks like with that clone being in that position, Stiggs is going to use it to his advantage and be able to find the kill. So, first round on the board for ACME. And they can start to make a little bit of a comeback here, start to find the rounds that they really need to find. But once again, with that site being removed, now begs the question, where are they going to go? They don't really have a lot of options here, as downstairs hasn't worked for them twice, but maybe it will now, and they're going to take that as an initiation to look to take downstairs as quick as possible. So once again, we're starting to see the same sort of operators being brought out. But, I mean, the downstairs, they've already lost it twice. What's going to change in this time?
Well, I think the roam, they need to get a bit more roam heavy, I think, there. It almost worked last round when we were in basement, I should say. And it came down to 3v3, but Nuki was just too strong. So I think maybe get a bit more roam heavy and then rotate back to site once you get 1 or 2 picks would be the game plan.
Attackers must locate.
Well, 1 or 2 picks would definitely be a great start for the side of ACME. But this is Panic, and Panic say that they don't want to try around with this anymore as the push starts to come through. Nuki's going to already start making the move. He's going to try to take out the player on Pillar. He will immediately be taken off the board. ACOG able to trade it back onto Jados as he will be removed. Captain Oz able to get it from the hatch. Hill's able to find one onto Wizard. Now it's down to Rico, who's immediately going to be removed by Stigs. Everything that they were looking for has been taken off the board, has been removed, as now it's down to Universe, who will start to slow down the pressure. Captain Oz is going to go back and forth. They know the position of the player. Needs to be careful for this push out, but Captain Oz, he's going to find the headshot. And
There it
ACME will stop the push.
Well played by ACME. The rush from Panic there, I didn't see that coming out at all. The blitz, a little bit of a wild card choice of an op there. Didn't work out in Panic's favour though. Yeah. What do you think we're going to see change here on the side of Panic?
Well, now Panic have tried 2 different playstyles. They've gone for the slow, aggressive sort of play. They've been able to secure 2 rounds as a result. And now they went all gears barred. They just started rushing. They wanted the kills. They wanted the round as quickly as possible. But now what they have forced ACME to do is those 2 sites are now completely locked off for 1 more round before they have to go back upstairs for the final. So, okay, no one said he was perfect. that was just unlucky. But it is what it is with Stigs. In this situation, right now, it's a forced site hold. Both the primary and secondary site have both been taken off the board for the side of ACME. So now they need to be focusing on this tertiary site. If they cannot find those early picks, they may be slowed down as a result. But then again, it all comes down to the way that they operate within the first minute. If they can slow down the teams enough, it means they will have more movement. It means they can find the kills. It means they can find the plays that they're looking for. But then again, when you're up against a Panic, it changes every 2 seconds.
Yes, indeed. Panic being very, very unpredictable with the way they push here. As we see, ACME are doing a split hold here. You've got Jados and Captain Oz holding upstairs. You've got the addicts and, well, we've got the downstairs hold there as well. As we see Wizard and ACOG pushing it into Master. They're going to be droning out, trying to find where Captain Oz and Jados are hiding. See if they can't get a pick. Push them off what they're holding. As we see Captain Oz getting aggressive. Looking for that pick. Sees... 1 cross, misses, as he's just going to try and move left to right, wait for him to peek, decides it's a good idea to push off.
And I mean, you can immediately see the play here from ACME. They're just trying to slow down this push to the upstairs as much as possible. Captain Oz just trying to delay as much time as he possibly can. ACOG and Captain Oz will go back and forth. A little bit of trade as Nuki will get an amazing shot given off by his teammates. ACOG almost securing that through the wall as well. But Jados realizes that the time is ticking. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds, and now Panic, they have this control of upstairs, but they don't have everyone ticked off the board. And Harry M says it's my turn to get involved. We'll start it off. ACOG is going to be removed. Once again, this is the player that didn't have a lot of HP, so it's not too big of an issue for the side of for the side of Panic. And now they'll start to get this control, but with 1 minute left, they have a lot of area to open up, and obviously you have that utility available, but when you have a man like Jados looking through the floor with a shotgun, that's just a player removed straight off the bat.
Yeah, indeed. We got 40 seconds remaining. Jados is going to be pushing down into classroom, there, as we see Universe pushing up Shell Hall, seeing if he can't shut down Jados here. Oh, sees the Legion, misses a shot, and Hills will take out Universe as we have Nuki up on white there. Rico pushing into Dining. Taking it, so got 20 seconds on the clock, not so much time now. He sees the leg of Harry M, and Harry M gets taken off the board. As he also sees Hill, Rico, sorry, takes out Hills.
10 seconds left.
As we have 9 seconds, as they have to get the plant down. As Nuki takes out Stiggs, 4 seconds. Can they get they stop the plant with Jados, taking out Wizard. Oh my lord, they got the plant down. To 1v1 because we've got Rico down. As Nuki takes out Jados to win the round. Well done.
Panic getting by the littlest margins there. Almost all taken off the board. Problematic situations for the side of Panic as they look to try and secure as many rounds as possible. Now, obviously on the side of ACME, you're just kind of thinking, right, they've got 3 rounds. We want to kind of end it at 3 rounds as well. Get those kills as quick as possible. Get everything secured as quick as possible. And you can see that by the way that they're talking, the way that they're interacting with each other. They're trying to delay as much time. They're trying to play around with it. And immediately, once again, they're going to be going for this secondary site. They're going to be looking to try and gain as much as they possibly can. And this is where it counts. If Panic get the step up in this lead, I'm concerned that ACME, they might not be able to make the push. They might not be able to make the holds that they're looking for. And it all comes down to the way that they operate in the next minute.
Indeed. Well, I mean, if they don't get this next round on the board, I dare say mental is going to be down quite a bit, which will affect, their ability to maybe push on and make the right decisions. Might get a bit, kill hungry, overpeak, trying to force some gunfights. Who knows? We'll see. As we have Stiggs on the Womai, Jados on the mute. Pretty default, upstairs hold in Kid Storms. As we see Nuki on the Iana again. Trying to possibly nade from below to classroom window. Must have a pull. Misses. 3 minutes 30 on the clock. So Panic, if they can get this next round on the board, I think they'll be in a good position to take the map.
Well, Nuki making his way up, looking to see if he can possibly spot someone making some sort of play, some sort of movement, but it doesn't look like it's going to be significant enough just yet. 2 members of Panic hoping that Jados makes this peak, but it looks like he's just going to take his time, not really making too many problematic moves here and there, as it looks like players will be ready to make some sort of play. And player is going to be making the push up towards main. Needs to be careful, as Universe will be able to find the kills onto Hills, but that's going to be Stiggs to trade it straight back off, as Universe will be taken off the board. So a pretty good trade for the side of Panic, as they're able to take down Hills nice and easy. The man 6 and 4 as Nuki, he's actually made his way up into the trophy room. Needs to be careful of the player on the close left. I don't think he's actually heard the player in that position, but he will spot it out, and that's going to be a player drop down and off the board. And now, ACME, they're in a problematic situation.
Indeed, with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining on the clock, it's a 4v3 situation in favor of Panic, as we see Captain Oz holding the tight angle, trying to shut down Nuki if he makes a repeat there, as Wizards getting the main wall open onto site, into games. Rico's moving around to support Nuki here. As we see Stiggs sees Nuki, misses a shot, as we see Wizard takes out Stiggs. 3v2, 2v2, Captain Oz with the double kill. Just gonna be patient, trying to push Nuki again. If he pushes through, Rico's there, sorry. Nuki been taken off the board. That's my bad. It's Rico. It's a 2v1 situation in the favor of Panic. There's 30 seconds remaining as ACOG gets the round for Panic and takes out Harry M.
And I mean, that's exactly what you look for, right, in this current position. As much as you possibly can. Each round, each suggestion, each play style that you've seen from these two teams, you expect that to be coming out. You expect these players to be operating like that. And right now, ACME, they're in a little bit of a problem. They've lost the rounds that they needed to secure on the defensive side. Now, we ask a lot more from them. And straight off the bat, they need to be operating in a better manner. Now, obviously, switch up is going to come through, so we expect a bit of a different play coming from them. Captain Oz making the switch off the Amaru immediately. So that third story push that we often see coming from Captain Oz is not going to be immediately made. It looks like he's going to take his time to actually drone through and identify any players on those positions. But now you've got Panic. They have 4 rounds on the board. The momentum that they have is going to be high. I just wonder how they approach it.
Well, yeah, indeed. We see Panic here. They've got a different defense strat, as you can see by the operators. You've got Rico's on Warden. We've got Wizard on the Kaid. We've got Universe on Smoke. Nuki's on the ACME. And we've got ACOG on the Goyo. Goyo very good for push denial there with his traps. Nuki will definitely be on, Rome. As we can see, we've got Captain Oz here going up top. Let's see what he can do here. He's going to have to try and push out the roamers here. Him just droning. 2 minutes 35 seconds remaining. Tiaki, how do you think they're going to make the play here?
Well, immediately you want to go from top to bottom, and I think you can already see it here. Stiggs is making his way in towards the hallway between meeting and it looks like the back stairs. So if he can identify this player that is just sitting there waiting on his drone, which I believe is Rico in this current position, he's just waiting to see if he can spot someone out. The drone will come through, so that will take Rico off the cameras there. He'll go and try and see if he can make a possible push-up on to Stiggs. Nade's going to come through. Warden, you're not going to be able to cancel that, buddy. As Stiggs will be able to take down Rico. And now they can start opening up a bit of the floor. And that's the pick that you're looking for if you're ACME. If you're looking for that player straight off the board, then it just opens up so many opportunities for you to make a push straight in towards the site. Now, Panic, they're down to 4 members. They've got every single member on site. They know the push can come from at least 4 directions, maybe even 5. But then again, with 1 minute and 20 seconds, something interesting could just happen where one player pushes straight through.
Indeed. As we have 1 minute 10 remaining here, we've got on board Universe, who's just chilling, waiting for play to happen. He's going to be just trying to get some intel, see if they're pushing Freezer. As we see, Jados pushing in with the Habana. We've got Stiggs on the Iana. Gonna nade the default box there, see if there's anyone on it. As the nade comes out, no one's on the box. ACOG's on high. Never mind, Hills gets Universe with the nade. ACOG's back on small box. Trying to contest the push. As Nuki pushes up and gets Hills. Hills is just shot in the back. Didn't hear him push up. ACOG gets Jados. We've got 35 seconds remaining. As ACOG's still sitting behind small box. Waiting for the IR of Stiggs to push down possibly. As Harry M gets Wizard. 20 seconds remaining. As ACOG's waiting patiently. Stiggs just takes out ACOG. 3v1 as Nuki takes out Stiggs. 10 seconds remaining. All Nuki needs to do is just stay alive.
Oh!
The kills! Nuki! Wow! It's I'm lost for words. I can't even.
Huge kills there coming in from Nuki, being able to find the 5 rounds that they were looking for. 1 round away from match point. And if you want to question a man to go nuclear, it's best to ask for Nuki at this current stage. And you can see it right then and there. Now it starts to beg the question from the side of ACME. They need to figure out their push. They need to figure out their strategy here, because Panic, every single situation that ACME makes their push, makes their play, is just being completely cut off. It is not being allowed. They leave these players in these positions where they can just take one-on-ones, find the kills that they're looking for. And it's just such a problem child for a lot of these teams.
Yes, indeed. Well, we've got, what, 15 seconds on prep phase. Panic are going to set up site here. So I'm surprised they're already on the leaning ball. Very interesting. Alright.
Moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Let's move into the action phase. We've got 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Alright, on the clock. So, we're on board with Captain Oz on the Amaru. Maybe he's going for a fast rush up into tower. This is the Captain Oz we know. Loves to clear the entry very fast. He's up on big tower. Looking down to T2. Looking to see if there's a free pick there. As Nuki running back onto site. What have we got? We've got Attic hold as well. So we've got Rico, Wizard, holding games and trophy. As we've got Harry M, and we've got Jados pushing up onto Master Balcony. We're going to try and drone out, find where the roamers are sitting, trying to get a pick here. As we see Stigs going into Armory, trying to get a wallbang pick there. As we see Jados letting them know they can't push any further due to a Aussie drone. Jados has got a drone on site, would it seem? Yep. All right, 2 minutes. Okay, we're 2 minutes on the clock. Jados is going to try and go for the wall here. As we see Harriam's pushing up, maybe trying to support. Stiggs is an Armory with the cross. Got a minute 50 remaining. I don't know. Let's see how they're going to push out Wizard and Rico. So I see Hills pushing up White. No, never mind. That's outside. My apologies.
Well, a bit of movement coming in there as Hills looking to see if he can possibly spot off a player playing close towards the main wall. But it looks like they're going to be slowing down their push for this current time. As Jados, he'll look to start opening up that wall ASAP. Sticks is going to make his way up the Armory corridor, see if he can push out a player inside of that attic. Wizard's going to take a lot of damage, enough not to remove him off the board, but enough to push him out of his position. This Echo being such a significant player, Sticks is going to take a decent amount of damage as the back and forth goes through. One player, obviously still being in attic, is going to slow down any sort of play. Flashbangs go back and forth as with 1 minute remaining. Panic start to look like they're panicking, but Rico will find the first. Nuki's going to get a little bit aggressive. Will find a little bit of damage. 50 seconds on the board as Nuki will find one. Universe will find a second. The trades back is going back and forth. Universe will find multiple. Make it 3 as Panic entered match point.
Universe with a really strong showing there for that triple kill. That was a really well-held site. Apologies there by Panic as Hills calls for a repost.
So with these teams at the moment, unfortunately, they have decided to call for a rehost. It happens. It is what it is with these players being in their positions, and obviously there's issues with that happen with the game. But right now, 6-2, Panic absolutely dominating this match. You have Nuki, who is going absolutely nuclear. He's playing exceptionally well in his position and just knows exactly what he needs to find, making the aggressive plays when they're necessary. On the opposite side, ACME, they're struggling. They're struggling to find the angles that they need to find. They're struggling to find the kills that they're looking for. And it just seems so problematic for them. Every single play, every single movement that they're trying to do is just not connecting on any play. And honestly, I'm not sure whether it's them being slow to clear or whether or not it's just the aggression that they're not actually being able to produce these rounds, produce these plays up against this opposition team.
Yeah, indeed. Panic is showing a really strong start here with Nuki absolutely just popping off and finding the kills, finding the angles. ACME struggling a little bit, as you said. You know, they're not finding their picks, they're not finding their angles. They seem to be struggling a little bit on initiating, on attack rounds. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here anyway. So hopefully they can figure something out and they can maybe change whether they're holding, change their angles. Time will tell.
For right now, we're expecting a big change to the play style that we have been seeing from these two teams. Obviously, now Panic, they'll be going into a tertiary site. They've been able to lock off the downstairs. They've been able to lock off the second floor dorms. So those two sites, they're your normal sites that a lot of these teams hold. They expect to be holding them. And so you expect them to essentially have the best of their abilities set up for those two sites. Now, the tertiary site is where it starts to get a little bit interesting. This is the site where a lot of players somewhat struggle when it comes down to it. They find these sites tough to move. They find these sites tough to play on. And it is just tough overall for a lot of them to find their victories. But again, with this rehost, it is also a momentum change there, Malflux. I mean, these players, they've all, as Panic especially, they've been on a consistent streak so far. On the defensive side, they were able to, on the attacking side, they were able to find 4 rounds. On the defensive side, they were able to find 2 in a row immediately. ACME, what is the answer? What can they do to change it up?
I don't know. I mean, they could try being a bit more aggressive, maybe. You know, I know that suits Stig's and Hill's playstyle a lot. You know, they're both very good fraggers, you know, when they're holding the correct angles, the correct ops, and they've got the correct support behind them to initiate the push. But who knows, we might see a Monty even come into play. You know, a Monty would be a really good pick to get a round, and get a plant down and force Panic to come back to site. You know, that would be a huge play, possibly. But I'm not. We'll see.
I mean, obviously, with this play on tertiary site meeting, you expect these sort of positions being held. I mean, especially with the Monte, as you said, maybe even a blitz if it. I don't know. Captain Oz may just decide it is one of those rounds to bring that out. But the OSA is another operator that we commonly see for this backside side. A lot of teams, they choose to go for the triple story. They try to go for the back stairs and try and gain as much of that sort of area as they possibly can, remove out the attic player and try and gain at least a plant down from that position, which causes a lot of the defending teams to struggle in their position and kind of play back and forth as much as they possibly can on it. Then again, this is not the way that we've been seeing them play. Every single movement that ACME has been able to do, Panic has been able to cut off with 1 or 2 players. One of their players gets aggressive, another one of their players just holds the angle, waits for the push to come through, and then explodes, finds all the kills. Last round, it was Universe, able to find multiple kills on the board again and again and again. Every single angle being watched, with Nuki being the one that got aggressive. And obviously, for ACME, they had to watch out for Nuki, but immediately Universe cleaned them up. So when it comes to this meeting, what would be your play? Where would you approach it from, Malflux?
So I would personally go rear tower and attack the rear stage. I'd bring an Osa, a Monty, a Nomad for flanks from rear tower stairs and Green Hall, like from the rotate up from pillar. And then your 2 entries, they could have their operator of choice. Preferably maybe even a sledge for some verticality, or a Habana or something to take attic as well, because you need to get that upstairs control before you can initiate onto site.
Well, I mean, that's the play, right? Go immediately, try and get that upstairs control, maybe put a player downstairs as well to push through inside a bunker, try and see if they can push up to that backstairs, make sure no one is pushing from freezer or pushing from main, even have a player maybe even sitting in a little tower to possibly find an angle where these players are just caught out. A lot of these teams seem to expect a push to come from one direction, but then they struggle to identify from another position. It is just, I don't know the best way to approach it. A lot of teams seem to feel like it is that backstairs push, that back angle push. But then again, it's not always the best way to approach it. Moving back into the game for round number 9, as we do come in to the match point round. It looks like we've had a little bit of an issue, so we will be fixing that right about now. No issues. It happens. Everything just, you know, it happens. We have problems.
It does.
But it is what it is. What it is. What do you expect? First day to send it off. There's always going to be issues. So Once again, moving into this area, obviously, as you said, you need to push that top player off. I don't know who's going to be sitting there. Normally, it could be Captain Oz mixed up with Jado sitting in that position, or multiple other members from the side of ACME. It's a tough one. It's a tough one. Because even if they end up being able to secure this, even if they end up being able to find the round that they're looking for, ACME, they've got to go back to the two sites that they've already lost.
Yeah.
They've got to go back to bunker. They've got to go back to dorms. And I just don't know. I honestly do not know, Malflux. It is like these two teams, they just struggle to find players. They struggle to find angles. They struggle to shut down when these movements are being made.
Well, for ACME, they've got to get 4 rounds straight to bring it to OT. So, what are they going to do? They need to figure something out. Even if that's, the Monty, the Osa, the Nomad, an Ayana, a Habana, just to clear top floor. They need to do something. They need to be winning those gunfights. They need to be pushing off the upstairs, defensive roam. As soon as they can get top floor control, win those gunfights, it should be a lot easier for them to push that. I think if you had the Monty and the Osa ready, set up at rear tower, just there waiting behind tower on the rear stage, and then wait for that upstairs take. If they can get that, that'll force Panic to fall back to site and be a lot more defensive and to be in favor of ACME.
Well, obviously, that is what we expect from these two teams in this position. You expect that sort of play style. Now, obviously, you and I both know there is a mentality that comes with playing the game. You do have players that do, unfortunately, get tilted, and you do have players that obviously, in their momentum and in the way that their team is playing, can find those extra rounds, can find those extra wins. So, I've got a wonderful question for you. You're on match point now. Panic are there. What does that do to ACME's mental?
You got as you said, you got players that can stall or players that will thrive under pressure. In all honesty, Stigs, I know, has been in very high pressure situations playing for Fnatic, at LAN and the OCN. I'm sure he might find some momentum there to win some rounds, win the gunfight. Same as Hills. They're all very good players on ACME. They're very strong, even Captain Oz. Hopefully their mental's not shot. Hopefully the momentum hasn't slowed down. But with these rehosts, again, Panic could have lost that momentum and they might hit a bit of a stall or a wall. We'll see. We'll see as we go back into the game.
Well, it looks like we're all ready, all set up, set to go. Round number 9. Once again, match point round. Obviously, you expect these two teams to be playing their best in this position. And right now, it does look like we will be going back downstairs, basement laundry. Never mind, it's going to be kitchen. That will be the side of call. So, match point. And, look at the setup. As I mentioned, this blitz coming into play from Captain Oz. He's decided this is the round to bring it out. The Osa as well being available.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Well, that's good. It's good. That's what we sort of predicted. We got Stigs on the Ayana, which I think I called. We got the Hills and two hard breaches. That's good. You got if one goes down, you've got the second one there who can get the attic wall as well as rear tower wall as well. We've got. What have we got on this side of Panic? We've got Rico on Fenrir. That's Fenrir on the play. I don't think I've seen him in play this game. ACOG's on the Jaeger. Wizards on Mute. Nuki on the Frost. And Universe on Valkyrie. Very much utility heavy here on the side of Panic. They're looking to get a lot more intel. See where they're pushing from. They're trying to get this match done. They're trying to get that match point 1 in the bag.
Well, we can immediately see from the side of ACME, they're looking to try their best ability to get exactly where I said. They're looking for this backside control towards Big Tower. Trying to remove as many players off from putting pressure. So they'll look to try and see if they can open up straight in towards Attic, which isn't even reinforced. So that's going to help them just a little bit to make their sort of play and position well known as multiple members from the side of Panic will be set up to slow down this push. Already, Universe, Rico will be the two members sitting upstairs as Wizard once again looking to open up the floor. So it looks like they're going to go for a bit of a vertical play and try and see if they can stop any sort of movement straight in towards the kitchen there by just having players upstairs. Captain Oz, once again, this blitz, it's a very scary operator to be cautious of.
Indeed. Blitz being very strong because of the shield and also the flash ability. I mean, speed on him as well is very intimidating to come up against him. We've got a minute 40 on the clock. As we see, Universe takes out Captain Oz's feet. The Blitz coming down, falling to Rico. As we see Harry holding an angle, waiting for the Valkyrie to push as Universe gets a double with that C4 as we have a minute 20 remaining. Stig's pushing up to the satellite window.
And straight away, you can see the problem starting to rein in for ACME. As Stigs, he'll look to try and open up this window. Unsuccessful a few times, but he'll be able to eventually open it up. And they need to look to remove these players from these upstairs angles. If these players continue in these positions, they're going to be in a very problematic position. Hill's taking a little bit of damage from a shotgun downstairs, which I believe was from the member of Wizard. So, with 45 seconds remaining on the wall, Wizard's actually able to find one onto Jados as Rico will find Hills. It's all down to Stigs. A 1v5 situation, and this may be too much to ask for anyone, as ACOG will find the kill, and that's what you look for. Panic will come onto the board. They will start the season off with a 7-2 win up against ACME.
Wow. That was a very, very strong showing from Panic there. I mean, I sort of expected that the way the Panic's been playing of late. They've been very, very consistent, very strong in their play style, and just clearly put in the work and had a lot of prep coming into round one.
Well, once again, we're starting to see from Panic. They've entered the season as one of the strongest competitors. Even last season when they entered, they were an extremely strong competitor. They were tough to beat for a lot of teams, and they showed that by being on the top of the leaderboards for quite a significant amount of time. Now, considering that, and in their position, obviously ACME not able to find the win today. They will end up losing at 7-2, which means back to the drawing board. It's back to go and check exactly what went wrong, what has gone right on the opposite end, and what can just be done better by these teams. So right now, Panic, they'll be feeling really good after that game, but ACME, it looks like back to the drawing board.
Yeah, indeed. I think they'll be looking at the VODs after they go up. A bit of VOD review will come in handy here. Fix what they need to be fixed, look at the issues, and go back to the drawing board, as you said.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a short break, but stay tuned. We will be back shortly. Oh, it looks like we've actually got an interview. My apologies. I was not ready for said interview, but it looks like we will be having a member from the side of Panic joining us shortly. Not exactly who it is going to be just yet. It sounds like it's going to be Nuki, so it looks like we will have the chance to ask him a few questions on how they are operating. How is the best way to approach it? And yeah, absolutely can't wait to see. But in saying that, let's introduce the man, the myth, the legend, the nuclear. How are you doing, Nuki?
What's up, Chucky, man? How you doing, bro? I'm doing great,
brother.
Man.
Well, man, I mean, 7-2 win, and you're back into the season once again, winning it all.
Good.
How does that feel?
Feels great, man. Feels great. Feels good. I'm pretty happy. We did pretty well. And props to the team; they did well as well. It was a tough game, and it was enjoyable to play.
Now, obviously, 4-2, the defensive half, you did struggle in a few of those rounds, and you even tried to do a rush, which didn't really work out.
Yeah.
What's the plan for next time?
Maybe more scrimming on House, Hereford. You know, getting those strats up as we usually do. You know, the casual strats they work the best. They didn't this game, but I don't know. It was good. Just keep more practice and yeah, more practice.
Makes sense.
But,
Malflux,
still
any
happy.
questions that you have for Nuki?
You must be on a high coming into the next game, hey?
Yeah, pretty happy. Pretty happy. Just I'm annoyed that my MVP got snaked because of the rehost. That's all. Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate. The universe took it all. Anything else you have to say out to your fans out there, Nuki?
Shout out Baiko and Wizard equals Dr. Nefario exposed. Yeah, that's all really. He's old. Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, best of luck in the future. And we hope that you guys continue to show us exactly what you did in the last season. And we hope to continue seeing you guys performing as well as you do. Too easy. Catch you later, Nuki. Have a wonderful day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a short break, but stay tuned because we have NTE up against Meow Meow Kitten LFO. And it will be a very interesting match going up against these two teams. But as we said, make sure that you're here and ready because the next match will be absolutely insane. And we hope to see you there.